congregation, and she gonna come and bless our hearts today.
That's right.
All right. Let her have it. Let her have
Lord,
it.
I'm gonna try to sing this song. I usually sing it with a choir, but we're not blessed to have a big choir, so I composed it for myself, my voice.
Amen. All right, your way. All right.
You're in the water now, you're gonna have to start swimming.
All right.
Because the Lord is my shepherd,
Yes.
I have everything that I need.
Mm-hmm.
He lets me rest in the meadow's grass, and he leads me beside the quiet stream.
Say that.
He restores my failing health, and he helps me to do what honors him the most.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm saved. That's why I'm saved. That's why I'm saved. Saved in his arms.
All right. All right. Amen.
Because the Lord is my shepherd,
Mm-hmm.
I have everything that I need. He lets me rest in the meadow's grass, and he leads me beside the quiet stream. He restores my failing health, and he helps me to do what honors him the most. That's why I'm saved. That's why I'm saved. That's why I'm saved.
All right. All right.
Saved in his arms.
Yeah. All right.
When the storms, when the storms of life are raging and the billows roll, oh, they begin to roll at night. I'm glad he shall hide me. I'm so glad
All
he
right.
shall hide me when the storms of life are raging and I don't have nowhere to go. God holds me, God keeps me safe, safe in his arms when I don't have nowhere to go. Oh, safe in his arms. God holds me, God keeps me. Oh, safe
Yeah.
in his arms.
Yeah. Yeah. Praise the Lord. Amen. Give her a good hand. She did well. Amen. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. If I could sing, I'd follow you. Since I don't sing,
Pray about it,
no.
Rick, pray about it.
Just pray about it. Yeah, I think it's been going on a long time, so it hasn't gotten here yet. Hasn't gotten here yet. Everybody's not supposed to sing.
That's it.
If they did, the church would never get any understanding.
I have preached.
Everybody just be rejoicing.
Gotta have preached.
Gotta have some preaching. And he said, how can they hear without a preacher?
That's it.
So we gotta preach. I I'm gonna say a few words, and thank you again, Sister. I'm gonna say a few words, but I'm gonna base it on the whole Bible. But I'm gonna have to read from Proverbs in order for us to have an understanding.
Right.
You know, understanding is important
Right thing.
because if we don't get understanding, wisdom can't use us.
Amen.
Wait, let me say that again. If we don't get understanding,
That's it.
wisdom cannot use
Use
us.
us. I hear you, sir. I hear you.
Out of all you get,
You understand? Amen.
understand.
Yeah.
And then he admonishes us that we need to seek wisdom. And somebody said, who is wisdom?
I hear you.
Who is wisdom? We can be in church and seeking knowledge, but we never get wisdom. I said we can be seeking knowledge in the church, but we can never get wisdom.
Yeah.
Wisdom is God himself.
Amen.
Did y'all hear me? Wisdom
Yes,
is
yes.
the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
And he used that as a metaphor,
Uh-huh.
as a sheep, because it does what? It gives birth to understanding.
Yes, yes.
Did y'all hear me say? So wisdom gives birth. He never gives birth. All he does what? Work with it.
Yes, yes.
But a she gives birth with whatever you're gonna work with. So I thought I'd bring it out today and just read a couple scriptures in Proverbs in the first chapter, and then we'll talk about a few things about a mother. You know, we just hear Reverend Powell just excited about mothers. I want you to look at the 7th verse in the first chapter of Proverbs. And we know who wrote Proverbs.
Mm-hmm.
We know the wise man
Wise man. Solomon.
other than Christ. Solomon. And the 7th verse in the first chapter. I'm not going to use the 30th chapter, because that's where the virtuous woman comes from. So we've already gotten our sermon from that.
Got that.
Yeah, Brother Powell already fixed that up. So we'll leave that alone. We're going to do the first chapter. Well, that's pretty nice, isn't it? The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction.
Yes, yes.
My son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother.
All right.
That's that scripture. I want to read it again, because this is what we're going to talk from. My son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. The mother has to be in all of the training of a child.
Yes.
Don't care who the father is. It can be the president. But the mother bears most of the training. So what I want to talk about today, it's pretty easy and simple. I want to talk about a few mothers of the Bible.
All right.
Not just one,
right.
because if I just talk about the mother of Jesus, before I mention anything about the Old Testament mothers, I'll get happy and forget about them. Amen. Because when you think about Mary and the mother of Jesus, you can't help but to get happy.
All right. I know that's right.
Because Mary did a lot of good things when it comes to Jesus. And we also have to understand in her doing that, it was indication that she was made for that.
Wow.
Now I noticed I just saw, the reason this came to me it's normally a mother that's been appointed to give laws or the way of life to the son. Amen. The mother gives inspiration of how to act as a woman or a female to the female. But the son gets a law. And that's strange, isn't it? The law of the mother. Now, how is the law different than the wisdom? How's the law different? But the reason I wanted to point that out, there are different mothers in the Bible. And they do have a law. They can lock your mind into certain understanding, and you can live with that for the rest of your life. Amen. Yes. Okay. So I wanted to deal with that on the basis of these mothers. First mother, if I want to deal with a mother, would be Rebecca. I deal with Rebecca. But it's strange how Rebecca had so much to do with how men act towards one another. And they're in the same house where the father did not move too much to give them training other than taking care of them. But seemed like, and listen to me now, seemed like Rachel had a lot to do with it in the way they act. Because she had two sons, didn't she? One was Esau and one was Jacob. Now, it seemed to me that the father was getting a lot of understanding with Esau, but the law of how to act and what to do was being given to Jacob. Because Jacob learned to be a deceiver.
Oh, yeah. Yes, he did.
A trickster.
Okay.
Not from the father. Because the father was always working. Somebody help me here. The father was always working, and Esau was always around the father. But Jacob was always around the mother, getting the laws of how to act. Somebody, boy, that's some good stuff there. And he learned how to trick folks. He learned so well that he tricked his brother who had better understanding.
Okay. Yeah.
He tricked his brother. He tricked his brother out of all his birthright.
I'm telling you.
I'm talking about the mothers. I'm talking about the mothers of the Bible. That's it. Now, this mother trained them so until she separated them. Because one had to lead the whole family. And the father was so involved in taking care of them that he became one that showed favoritism towards Esau. And they split the family. So mothers and fathers have to watch this business of favoritism. Somebody ought to help me right there.
All right, Lord.
You have to watch that favoritism stuff. Because if you don't watch that favoritism stuff, you can make your kids hate one another.
That's the truth.
And they're supposed to love one another. They're supposed to love one another. They're supposed to help one another. But the favoritism and deception got into that family. And it was all because of the mother's law.
Well.
If you want something, you trick somebody out of it. We got a country that's running with tricksters.
Bunch of them.
Lord Jesus.
Amen. We got homes today that's tricksters, and that's why they're concerned right today that our country has created a problem for its people committing suicide and domestic harm is being done, and they're worried about young girls being misused by their father because they're wrapped up in the house all day long. That's because somewhere along the line, somebody's been giving them a law. I'm talking about another man been given a law, and he'll mess with his daughter. Amen. Because that didn't come from wisdom. That came from understanding of a law.
Another law.
that nature law.
Yeah.
And nature law can make you do things you shouldn't do.
Well.
That's why somebody can tell you, look at somebody walk in there. I was in a class one day, and the guy said, you know, if I hadn't had a mother who told me I could be good in math, I hated math before she kept telling me. Mm-hmm. My daughter doesn't like math. My son likes math. He just, that guy goes all day Saturday dealing with trigonometry. My daughter said, just let me get a seat and get out of here.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But it's not because she, but she was exposed that you don't really have to have all of that algebra and trigonometry and all that stuff. But she was exposed to that. But if she was told, somebody help me again, that she needed that, you know what? She could learn it. She has the brains to do it. Amen. She has the brain. She has as good a brain as my son. But she never got to the point where it did what? Motivated her. See, you can have the intellect, but if you don't have the motivation, you'll never learn.
So long.
All right, Doc.
No, you can have the talent.
Yeah.
You can have the talent, but if you don't have the motivation to develop that talent, all you go out of this world saying, I had the talent, but I never developed it. Okay? So understanding, the law. This is good stuff. This is good stuff. Now this Rebecca, she created all these problems with Esau and etc. But then there was another mother, and I want to use this mother from the Old Testament, and her name was Jezebel, a Jochebed. Now you know who that mother was, and I have to tell you who she was the mother of. Before you know who Jockey was. Who Jockey was. You know who the mother was. And now you know the mother, but you want to know who the son was? Moses.
Oh, okay.
Jochebed, she was the mother of Moses. But look what she did. Now, you know, sometimes you use these scriptures from Proverbs in the first chapter about wisdom and understanding and law and wisdom and all that. But I want you to understand, these mothers show you why Solomon had to write this. He had to write this because there were so many different things. And I'm going to show you another one before I finish today. Now, Jochebed, what she did was so good is that people look at her as being what? She had a lot of ingenuity. You know why she had ingenuity? Because at that time when Moses and Aaron and Mary, but primarily Moses and Aaron, which was two brothers, come on somebody, you know she was also Aaron's mother as well. But the reason why she was so good at ingenuity, that she kept those sons from being killed when they were born.
There you go.
Yeah.
She sure did.
Look at what kind of mother that is. That mother was resourceful.
No, that's right.
She worked things out. And I tell you what, I believe if we would go back and use our memory, jog our memory in thinking about the past, we had some good resourceful mothers too.
I'm telling you, yes we did.
In the black family, they could
they
take
make
chicken
something out
and
of
make
nothing.
chicken. They could fry the chicken, or they could stew the chicken, or shit. They could use pig feet, and they could make some stew, and they just take the chicken and just make 4 or 5 different dishes, and it was all good. Now we can't eat nothing. My wife today, you know, I can't eat nothing but the breast. I don't like the other. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but in those days, in yesteryear, I'm going back a little bit here. In yesteryear, those mothers was resourceful.
I'm telling you.
They could take that chicken, and I don't know how they could do it. They could take chicken feet.
There you go.
They could take chicken feet and make soup and stew out of it, and that ain't nothing but a bone. And we sucked the bone.
Amen.
And got a good taste and also a good feeling. We can go into. So I just want y'all to know that this woman was something else, boy. I tell you, she was resourceful. Jochebed was one of those women who worked. Now, let me just tell you how resourceful she was. 3 months before the baby was detected, she took the baby to the river every day. And why did she take it to the river?
You used to go that way.
And by the way, she would be right there, but she was doing that to hide the birth of that child. Because that old Pharaoh, that was another Pharaoh. That old Pharaoh had decided that every Jewish baby that was born would be killed. And she protected that child by taking him to the river. And she made a bed. Matter of fact, she made a boat for him. Yeah. It could float on the water. So one day, and I know the baby sometimes got how the baby was 3 months old when this happened. The baby was crying, and Pharaoh's daughter was out there bathing. Didn't have anything on much at all. But she was out there in the beautiful branch of the Nile River. And she did what? She heard this baby. And when she looked up on this baby, he looked so good and so fair. So that tells me there must have been some black folks over there. Because they wouldn't have made that distinction that he was fair.
Yes.
It was kind of like me, because I was lighter when I was born, and my brothers and them would call me, you yellow joker, you. Amen. So it's fair. So that let me know that a lot of the Egyptians, because we do know that part of the Egyptians are really black folks.
Yes.
So we know that Moses must have been, and matter of fact, most of the Jews in those days must have been black.
Oh, yeah.
Because they act just like black folks. Amen, Reverend Steve. You're all right today. You're all right. You'll be all right in a few minutes. I know you will. But I want you to know that Jochebed did some things that was good, and she kept Moses alive. And we can reflect on our lives as we remember the little that we had, Mother took and made a lot out of it. Yeah. In other words, we had 10 kids, 5 boys and 5 girls. That's a lot of mouths to feed. But we didn't go hungry. Didn't have that much, but we didn't go hungry. Amen. So we didn't, and we didn't have welfare.
Okay, there you
Somebody ought to hit me right here. But God made a way. Because he gave mother wisdom, gave mother understanding.
Yes, Lord.
And my daughter mentioned to me yesterday, said, Dad, you're blessed to be here. I said, yeah, because we didn't have all of this children, doctors and nurturing and all of that. We didn't have this milk that was a certain way. We just had to drink the milk from the cow. And somebody ought to help me right here. If mother couldn't give us any milk, she said, go milk that cow. and we look at us today. We're here almost 80 years old and still going. Somebody ought to say, amen. God is good, isn't he? God is good. But then there's the third one that I want to just mention here as we move on. And this mother is really kind of scary to me. This mother does things in a different way. She was very manipulative and did things to hurt people. Somebody ought to help me right here. She was, and really, she was Herodes. Herodes. She was long when Jesus was long. John the Baptist had an encounter with her because she did what? She separated, divorced her husband, and then turned around and married his brother. You all ain't gonna be with me that she turned around. That was her name, Herodias. Okay, and so what happened to her? She was a deceptive and conniving mother. Amen. Because she made her daughter do something. See, that's why you got to be careful how you train your children. The law that you give your children can be with them and it can be deadly. Somebody ought to help me right here. And so what she did with her daughter, let me tell you that so I can move on. But what happened to her, that she got her daughter to ask the man to promise her something. In other words, because she was sick of him telling everybody that she was wrong. Because she divorced one brother and married the other brother. You know, that brother was Philip. So she said, and she said, now I want you to get him to promise you something. And what do you want, Mama? Mama, you know you do whatever you want to do, and I do whatever you say do, Mother, because you brought me up and you used me to do a lot of things. So if you want me to do it, Mother, I'll do it. Well, make him promise you that he'll get rid of John the Baptist. Somebody ought to help me. Y'all remember Herodes, don't you? And she made her daughter promise that man, she came out and said, I want you to dance with every revelation you have in your body. You know, she was built. And she came out and danced in front of him, and his eyes got big and his mouth got watery. Somebody ought to help me right here. Yes. And he promised her that he would get rid of John the Baptist by having his head amputated and put on a platter to be brought before him. Somebody ought to, can you imagine how that daughter must feel? Wow. Can you imagine how she died with that burden on it that she helped destroy somebody? Innocent life. So you got to be careful about how you train up a child. When these boys breaking in these stores and stuff, mother, you better sit down and pray about it. I said, somebody better pray about it. Because that's what they are. The first thing they say, ain't no dad in the house. Somebody said, where's dad? Dad ain't around. It's only mother. And most of us, man, our mother trained us, but she trained us to be good men. I just want to leave with you today. Train us to be good men. Train us to be honest. And train us to do unto others as you would have them to do unto you. And she also would train us according to Galatians, the 6th chapter, where it said, God is not mocked. Whatsoever you sow, you're going to reap it yourself. And I want you to know that she also trained us not to go out and kill or deceive anybody, but work for what we want. Mother made boys work in those days. I'm just reflecting. I'm jogging my memory to just look back. She made us work hard. I mean, you know, I remember somebody came home one day in our family, my oldest sister, and she said, you know, at that school, I don't think I can make it because they didn't give me the promotion over the kitchen because my oldest sister cooked in the kitchen. And when we did go to school, she was there. And she came home and told mother that they didn't give her the promotion to be over the kitchen. She said, go back and work a little harder. No excuses. Somebody ought to help me right here. No excuses. So my sister went back and she worked a little harder because she told the woman that got the position that if you don't start messing up so I can get that position, you won't be able to work. So the lady took her word. Somebody ought to help me right here. But she used ingenuity in a bad way, but I got news for you. She went on back and worked and made more money. And that's what we did. We worked hard and we was being mistreated, but mother said we had to be twice as good. Somebody ought to help me right there. We had to be twice as good as the other folk. And you know what? It was truth in that too. It did have to be twice as good. So Herodias did something that was wrong. But I got news for you. There's the last mother I want to mention is pretty good in this story here. The last mother is the one that did things that helped people out. And that's the mother that was involved with another woman. Not in reference to relationships of man and woman or a romantic way, but they lived together. Somebody ought to help them. They lived together. And one of the mothers rolled over at night and smothered the baby to death. Oh, you all know that. Smothered the baby to death. Didn't she do it? You can read that in Kings there, in 1 Kings. But when she rolled over and killed the baby, she did wake up and realized that she had smothered the baby to death. And she went over there, and the other mother, because they gave no names, amen. They gave no names. So the other mother did what? She took the baby and swapped the baby and got up the next day. The mother said, this is not my baby. But that's my baby. She said, no, that's not. You already killed your baby. And so they said, well, let's go to Solomon. And Solomon just had took his position. He just had taken his position as the king. Somebody ought to help me right there. He had taken, so he had to use his wisdom, didn't he? And I got news for you. They took the baby to him, and she said, you know, this baby, she said, I want you to know this is not my baby. That's what the other mother said. This is not my baby, because I didn't roll over and smother my baby, but this woman did, and she brought me her baby and took my baby, because I was asleep. And Solomon sitting there, he turned around, and after she kept talking about how it was her child, and the child was smothered to death, and the other woman wanted to get the one that stayed alive, which the other mother didn't kill her baby. So what happened to Solomon? He said, now you all want me to make a decision. They said, yeah, we got to have a decision, because I know that's my baby. And the other lady said, I know that's your baby that you rolled over and killed, and that baby that's alive is my baby. And they said, well, just give me a knife there. Give me a big knife. And gave him a big knife. He said, now I'm going to cut him in half. And you take one half and the other one take half to settle this thing. Okay. But the real mother said, no! Don't do that. Right. You don't hurt the child. I got news for you. I'd rather for him to live even if I can't have him. In other words, I'll give him life. I'll give him my life so he can keep on living. Yes, somebody ought to help me right here. And that's why sometimes you have to give up the right for the wrong in order for it to make it. But you know what's right and you know what's wrong. And so she said, I'm going to give it up, so you can go on and keep the child, so he can keep and stay alive. And I got news for you. That's what a lot of us used to do. I was reading the other day about how these people are mistreating wives in the home, but the mother will stay there. Why does she stay there? Somebody ought to help me right there. She stays there because of what? Because of the children. I got news for you. I believe a lot of the people in my day, especially the women that had ingenuity and resourceful, and they had good spirit, they stayed in that house to protect those children, because they weren't treated right by the husband. They didn't get what they should have gotten, but they stayed right there. And you know why they stayed there? Because of that boy, or because of that daughter. They stayed right there. And that's what Jesus did when he went to the cross. I'm leaving you now. When he went to the cross, he did. Let me tell you something. We didn't put him on the cross. It was love that put him on the cross. He loved us so much that he was willing to die for us. I got news for you. He died for you and I because he loved us. Not because of what we had done and what we were going to do, because he died so that we would have the right to the tree of life. So I got news for you today. There's a lot of mothers staying at home and saying, I'm going to stay there and do what I can, as long as I can, so that son or that daughter can grow up. Now, that's some of the mothers in the Bible. I'm going to leave you now, but I'm glad I had a good mother. We didn't have everything we thought we should have had, but we didn't feel we was poor. We just knew we was neglected. Somebody always say, I didn't know I was poor, but I just knew I was neglected, and I could have better things. But they always gave you encouragement. Go on and be somebody. We don't have anything to give you, but you can be somebody. You can make it if you try. I got news for you. If you say with the Lord, you can make it. Ask some of the people in the Bible about how God can make a way out of no way. Moses, can he make a way? Yes, he can. When you're blocked with a river and can't get across, just call on Jesus and he'll make a way out of no way. Can you do it, David? Yes, I can do it. Because yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, because God is with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Is it all right? Yes, it's all right. Solomon, what would you say? I got news for you. When you got your trouble on every hand, you can ask him and he'll give you peace, because that's what my name is. Solomon's name means peace. He'll be with you, won't he? He'll be peace in the troubled valley. He'll be peace in your sick room. He'll be peace when you're broke, because you feel like he'll make a way and put money in your pocket when you don't have a job. He'll put clothes on your back. He'll give you peace that passes all understanding. He'll do it for you, church. He'll do it for you. Other mothers, we don't think about them, but they're important. because they give us a way of life.
Right.
Amen. Amen. You ought to stand right now. Let's open the doors of the church.